If your partner's cheated on you, this is the last thing that you want to hear, but it's the only thing that's going to actually heal you. It's got nothing to do with them and it's all to do with you. And I know that's hard to take. I love you. Hang in there, because in today's session, I'm going to take you through the cycle so you are 100% the best that you can be to prevent them cheating on you again or ever again, because you're not alone. Hit that subscribe. I got you. Now, first of all, breaking the cycle is not about that you've picked the wrong person. This is not they're the wrong person, and if you'd have found someone that's better, this wouldn't have happened. It doesn't work like that. We have to look at where the cycle occurs so we can stop the cycle occurring again. This is painful to hear. It comes from you. They cheat on you because of how you are. And this happened to me too. So don't think I'm telling you this saying, oh, it's all right for Ed, he hasn't had it. I had the same thing to me too. I've been there with you. And it's devastating and it's brutal. Out of all the things that happens in life, I think it's one of the worst things that can happen. It's not your fault entirely, it's your coping mechanisms that have created this. And it's your behavior that's unconsciously pushing them away. However, you have to take responsibility because you're the only one that can control this. Unlike others online, my content would probably do a lot better if I said it was their fault, but that's not the truth, and I can't sell my soul for views to say it's their fault and not your fault. If they were working with me now, I would be putting the ownership onto them. So for example, my next video on why you cheat as the cheater will take them to 100% responsibility. Now, what happens if you take two people that are in an argument to 100% responsibility for all of their actions, not part of their actions, all of their actions? What happens? The problem goes away. You can find a solution, create change in your behaviors. But without both parties taking 100% responsibility for the problem, that never occurs because both parties want to blame. So you're watching this now, we can't blame them, you take responsibility. It's not about blaming them or getting someone new, we have to heal you. Step number one, we have to understand the cycle of cheating. When you've been hurt in the past because of your upbringing, and you might be thinking, well, I had a great relationship, I had a great family relationship, but something would have created a trauma response to create a pattern of behavior that you feel attached or disattached or anxious or avoidant or fearful, whatever it may be. It's kind of like a smoke alarm. It's going off and there's no actual fire. It's going off in the present and there's no fire because your past experiences have trained you to see danger everywhere now. So without healing that area, it's going to be difficult to be present. For example, every time you check their phone, you're responding to the past, not to the present. Or the more you think, oh my God, I'm going to try and control them more, the less secure you actually feel. So these protective patterns push away the exact love that you're trying to get. So thus, by bringing understanding to the pattern and bringing awareness to those patterns, one of the best ways is to start writing down in your journal your pattern so you can bring another awareness to it physically with your hand. When you understand the cycle, then you can stop blaming. Step two, breaking free from control. You can't prevent cheating through control. It doesn't work like that. But you can build something more secure, internal security within yourself. Ask yourself, when was the last time checking their phone actually made you feel any better? You know, the moment that you did it, you felt more anxious, your brain started overthinking, and you started questioning over and over again, and it made you feel horrendous. You should never check anyone's phone. End of. It's not your right to check someone's phone. Full stop, don't do it. Never do it. I don't care what the situation is, it's their privacy and you're breaching that. If you start thinking something's happening, you have a conversation and you engage in a conversation first. You never look at someone's phone because your mind will create all of these scenarios that might not be present, and you're engaged with all of the things that happened in the past, and so you start creating a reality that is not true. How many times do you misunderstand what your friends say to you via text? And if you misunderstand what they say and you're in that conversation, imagine how misinformed information can start making you feel. And then it starts driving a pattern where you don't trust someone because you're looking for things to distrust, and it creates anxiety, tension, resentment, which is all going to get in the way of connection. Security isn't found in looking in the actions of finding out if someone is truly trusting you or not. it's within the actions within yourself. The fix is you have to be able to emotionally regulate yourself first. If you don't have an emotional regulation framework on a daily basis, your mind will overthink, over-question, and over-analyze. Emotional regulation can be a breathing process, a journal process, going to the gym, and like other people on the internet, I'm not here to tell you it's one thing that's going to sort it all out. You have to look at what you're eating on a daily basis. If you've eaten shed loads of sugar, drunk 8 cups of coffee, your ability to be anxious-free is not going to be good. And so you're going to be viewing all of your issues through that lens. With emotional regulation first, you can start soothing yourself so your brain isn't so active. Imagine a can of Coke. If you take the pressure out of the can of Coke, it's flat, right? Your brain needs to be flat. It can't be fizzy with all of these ideas. Have you ever had a situation with a friend or a partner where they've got no headspace, they're tired, they're overwhelmed, they're feeling guilty because they ate loads of bad food? It's not rocket science stuff. They are not in a good position to communicate. You communicate through the lens of that and how you feel. If you're feeling rough, tired, overwhelmed, you're gonna have the worst communication possible. Emotionally regulate first is an essential step. 3, here's some practical healing tips that you can use right now in this video. The 4-4-4 reset. When you're feeling anxious, just breathe in 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, and breathe out 4 seconds. Couldn't be easier. If you do this for over a minute, the emotions will start to calm down. Roughly around 28 seconds, you can start to catch your breath. Beyond 90 seconds, your emotions will start to subside. Most people do not take that time to actually stop and think, I can break this pattern before I just go into an automatic reply. The power pause, before checking their phone, before doubting, before going on a witch hunt, ask yourself, am I acting from fear now? And write it on a piece of paper. So it gives you some space to look at how your brain is operating. It's proven if you take time to write your thoughts, rather than just think your thoughts and act, it gives you more space to bring awareness to your actions, so it starts to give a little bit of space between just being some stimulus response mechanism, which you are more than that. It was Pavlov, was a scientist back in the days, who originally found that humans are stimulus response. Like a dog, if he rang the bell, the dog would come to eat, because they wired those two things together. But you are more than a dog, because we have response mechanisms that can stop us just responding unconsciously to things. 4, building real security within yourself. The words that you say have real meaning. Language gauges your experience. Language gauges your experience. What you say is what you become. Your reality is created about what you say. If you tell your partner they're no good, all these bad things, what happens? They feel bad, right? Do the test yourself. Spend some time telling yourself how bad you are over and over again, write it out, and notice how you feel. You're gonna feel bad. So swap it, reverse engineer it. You need a positive affirmation every single day, not just once. I used to in my 30s say you don't need to do it all the time. As I become older, you have to do it every day. It's just the way it goes. Morning affirmation, I do I'm powerful beyond all measure every single day. It gets me into a good vibe, allows me to start taking control of the things that I need to take control of and to get stuff done. Do whatever works for you. Evening reflection, I do a quite simple 3, 2, 1. 3 things I'm really grateful for, 2 things I'm really proud of, 1 thing I'm going to focus on tomorrow. Really simple process. You can reset every single day. When you start and end your day with gratitude, it's going to fill you with good feelings. Simple. 5, going on your healing journey. If you really want to heal all of your behaviors, you have to look at the source of how they occurred in the first place. And they all occurred with how your parents brought you up into the world. Now, you might be thinking, my parents were amazing, and that's okay, but we all experience triggers or different patterns through our parental upbringing. Even if you had a great upbringing, you don't know what was the connection between your parents, for example, because if they didn't experience an ability to manage conflict easily, then you won't be able to manage conflict easily. And so sometimes I get clients that say, oh, our family were amazing, we never had any problems. That in of itself is a problem, because if no one is capable of sharing their needs and expressing themselves, because we all get frustrated, we all build up resentment, we all build up negative experiences. And if you don't have an open relationship where you can express that without feeling judged, what happens is you suppress feelings. When you suppress feelings, then coping mechanisms occur. So what you need to do is look at your parental upbringing and assess, how do you complete those relationships? When I say completion, I mean looking at your parental upbringing and closing any arguments that you've had. You know, when you have an argument with someone, you get some tension. Unless you complete on that and you resolve the issues, then they keep on getting more and more. They will keep on getting more, and you will pass them on over and over again unless you heal them too. So let me know in the comments below if you want a more detailed video on how you can heal your trauma, let go of the past, because you're not alone. Hit that subscribe. I got you.